Hey guys, Dr. Childs here. Today we're going to be talking about my protein powder, Functional Fuel Detox. You can't see it too well, but I promise that's what it is. We're going to be talking about what type of people should be using this, what it does exactly, and how it compares to my other protein powders. Because you'll notice, if you look through some of the supplements that I have at least 3 different protein powders, including some of the other flavors, or not including some of the other flavors. And each of these protein powders does a little bit of a different thing. And so I want to talk about the specifics of why you would want to use Functional Fuel Detox here. So first of all, what is it? Like I said, it's a plant-based protein powder. All of my protein powders are that way, and it is designed specifically to help your gut and to also help with detoxification. These are both huge issues that thyroid patients face, which is why I've created this particular protein powder. So let's talk a little bit about how it compares to other protein powders, so you know if this is something that is right for you, or if maybe you should look at something else. So I have 3 different types that I'm going to explain. I have Functional Fuel Complete, I have Functional Fuel Energize, and Functional Fuel Detox, which is this guy that we're talking about right now. So Functional Fuel Complete is sort of the good for everyday use. It has the same plant-based protein powder that's in here in a little bit of a smaller amount, because not quite as robust as this one. But again, it's really good for everyday use, and doesn't have any specialty ingredients aside from the array of thyroid-supporting nutrients. So they all have those 2 things. They all have the plant-based protein powder, and they all have the thyroid-supporting nutrients, but then they have, depending on where we go in between Energize and Detox, they have additional ingredients on top of that. So that's Functional Fuel Complete. That's the main difference there. So Functional Fuel Energize, that's what I call my weight loss protein powder. So Functional Fuel Energize has some ingredients such as bovine-derived IgG, as well as some natural sources of caffeine to provide a pretty good boost of energy. It also has a little bit of a different flavor compared to these other 2, which is a vanilla latte flavor. And so Energize, I think, is probably a little bit better for weight loss compared to this one, but they still do kind of overlap in that regard. And then we have Functional Fuel Detox, which is the one we're talking about today. And in my opinion, Functional Fuel Detox plays an amazing role in treating anyone who has inflammation, anyone who has Hashimoto's, anyone who's interested in improving their gut, and then also wants to, or is peripherally or slightly interested in weight loss. Because remember, there's some overlap there, and it contains a bunch of ingredients to help with all of those things. So in my opinion, it's probably a little bit of the heavier hitter compared to all 3, but they all play an important role, and they're just a little bit different there. So let's talk about what differentiates it and the ingredients that are inside of it. So as I said before, it has plant-based protein powder. It has 26 grams for every 2 scoops. So if you were to use 2 scoops per day, you'd get 26 grams of that plant-based protein powder. In addition, you'd also be getting the vitamins and nutrients which help support your thyroid. Again, all 3 of those have there. All 3 of my protein powders have that. But in addition, you would also be getting curcumin, pomegranate, betaine, lemon bioflavonoid, quercetin, rutin, MSM, watercress, and green tea extract. Now, these are the ingredients on top of those other things, which are, like I said, targeted towards improving gut health, which it also includes L-glutamine, which I didn't talk about there, 5 grams per serving, which is a significant amount to improve your gut health. And then also a lot of these help to enhance liver function, to improve that detoxification that I was just talking about. And also, like the lemon bioflavonoid, these are anti-inflammatory ingredients as well, which reduce that inflammation, which is why I'm saying previously that it's really good if you have Hashimoto's or inflammation, because it helps to draw down that inflammation process that's going on in your body, helps to improve your gut health, which also improves T4 to T3 conversion that's going on, and it provides you with that sort of nice boost of 26 grams of protein, which helps keep you full, helps reduce sugar cravings and things like that throughout the day. So that's how I would recommend using it, and that's probably how I'm using it. Now, I should point out too that this, if I were to open this and show you, it has a really sort of rich gold yellow color, and that's from the high dose of curcumin that is inside of this. So I don't recommend getting it if you can't handle curcumin, or if you are pregnant. You shouldn't be taking curcumin if you are pregnant, especially in these type of doses. But that's the reason why it's so effective. So that's the only thing that I mentioned before. If you don't tolerate curcumin, then you're not going to want it. But it's so good for reducing inflammation, improving insulin resistance, and so on. So if you can, you definitely want to try and use curcumin. All right, so let's talk briefly about how to use it. It's really simple, 2 scoops per day. You can include it or mix it into any sort of liquid that you want. I usually just put it in water because it has a really good flavor to it. It's not bad. It can be a little difficult to mix though, so if you're having trouble mixing it, then I'd recommend just an immersion blender or just use a blender. It'll blend it right up in like 5 to 10 seconds, so it's really easy. Now, I also recommend using it in conjunction with some of my other supplements. So like I said, this will be, what I'm doing nowadays is including protein powder pretty much in everyone's regimen that I'm treating because of the benefits that it has. but it's not a substitute for thyroid specific supplements. So it doesn't replace those type of supplements in your routine. It should be added in addition to. Okay, and so the things that I'm talking about would be thyroid support supplements. In this case, we're talking about T3 conversion booster and thyroid adrenal reset complex. Those are my versions of those, and can also be used to support your adrenal function, and also you can use it in addition to probiotics. So remember, it will be improving your gut health, but it does even better if it's also used in conjunction with probiotics. So that's how I'd recommend using it. It's really simple. In terms of when not to use it, really, as I said before, people who have a known reaction to curcumin and those people who are pregnant. You can use it if you're breastfeeding, but don't use it during pregnancy because curcumin can be stimulating to the uterus, and that's really the only group of people that shouldn't be using it. So if you have any questions regarding its use or any other questions about what's included in it and so on, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.